The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Now let's see what goes on in Summerfield. Well, you'd hardly know the place. Summerfield, which usually can boast no more than a second-run movie, is suddenly all aflutter over the prospect of an evening of grand opera. And how did this come to be? Well, it seems that Mrs. Rumson Bullard, while on a recent trip to New York, bought herself a very expensive evening gown.
Do you like it, Rumson?
Yes, it's very becoming. But where on earth are you going to wear it in this town?
I know. That's the only thing.
Never fear. Where such things are at stake, woman will find a way. And so it is that a touring opera company is scheduled for a single performance at the dusty old Summerfield Opera House, underwritten by such prominent citizens as Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve and Judge Horace Hooker. In fact, the two of them are up early and in Mr. Gildersleeve's study right now discussing the matter.
What seems to be your problem, Judge?
Women.
Yeah. How'd you come to get mixed up with women at your age?
It's this darned opera. They made me chairman of the committee on arrangements. I don't know why I ever said I'd do it. Nothing but a lot of jealous women in my hair all day long.
You never could handle women, you know, Judge.
Well, you may be right. Say, Gildy, maybe you...
Oh, no, thanks. I've done enough. I've sold my $75 worth of tickets for the opera, and that's plenty.
But, Gildy, you're the man they should have appointed to head this committee in the first place.
That may well be. But it so happens they didn't. Now let them try to get along without me.
Gildy, that's not the spirit.
If they want to appoint some tactless old goat who doesn't know the first thing about handling women, who puts his foot in his big mouth every time he opens it, and probably insults him when he thinks he's paying him a compliment.
You're right, Gildy. I am tactless. I realize that.
Handling women is an art, Horace. It's an instinct. You're either born with it or you aren't.
That's so true. And you do it so well. I envy you, Gildy. I truly do.
Well, I could probably give you a few tips, but why should I? Why should you get the credit while I...
Exactly.
Huh?
Now, why don't we fool them, Gildy? Why don't we just take matters into our own hands and handle it the way it should have been handled in the first place?
Oh, how's that?
Well, we won't consult anybody about it. I'll just resign in your favor.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Well, you said yourself you're the obvious man for the job.
Well, I don't know that I said it.
Well, there's hardly any work involved, Gildy. It's all done, practically. All it calls for now is someone to act as referee, as it were, between the various women. Someone with your deft touch, Gildy.
Uh-huh.
Someone who has a way with the ladies. You devil, you. Then you'll do it, huh?
Now, well, wait a minute.
Doorbell!
I'll get it, Bertie. Now what? I got to be getting down to the office.
Well, I'll drive you down, Gildy.
Oh, Leela, hello.
Get your hat and coat, Throckmorton. You're coming with me.
Coming where?
To the dressmaker's.
What?
I'm having a new gown made for the opera, and I'm having a fitting at 9:30. I want you to come and see
Oh,
it.
but I can't.
But I want you to pass on it, Throckmorton. I want to know if you approve. Some people might think it was a little extreme.
Well, I'd like to, but I can't, Leela. I got a million things to do.
Oh, now run and get your coat, you hear? I won't take no for an answer. Besides, how am I going to get there if you don't drive me?
Well, gosh, all right, wait there. I'll go get the car out.
Hello, Leela.
Horace, I didn't know you were over there.
Did you hear the news, Leela? Gildy's taking over the chairmanship of the committee on arrangements for the opera. It's a tremendous honor.
Horace, you didn't stick Throckmorton with that.
Well, he claims he has a way with the women.
this the place, Leela? Wonder she wouldn't fix her gate.
You wouldn't say that if you knew her.
Why?
Poor Miss Tate. She's as poor as a church mouse. But she's a wonderful dressmaker. Everyone in town goes to her.
If everyone goes to her, why is she so poor?
I guess she's just been too busy ever to stop and figure that out.
Where's the bell? Oh. Gosh, I haven't seen one of these since I called on the Peavies.
Oh, come in, Mrs. Ransom.
Oh, thank you, Miss Tate. This is Mr. Gildersleeve.
How do you do?
Aren't you afraid you'll swallow those pins?
Oh, I'm so used to keeping pins in my mouth, I often forget they're there.
Looks dangerous.
I know you hate me for being late, Miss Tate, but I had to wait for Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah. Huh?
He just insisted on coming along to see my new gown.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Everybody's late. They've all arrived at once. Dear, let me see now. Where can I put you? The gown's ready. I finished it last night.
Oh, you're going to love it, Throckmorton.
I can't put you in the bedroom. Mrs. Pettibone's in there.
Oh?
And Mrs. Bullard's in the sewing room.
Mrs. Bullard. I thought she bought her gown in New York.
She did. But it had to be let out a little.
Aren't I terrible?
Anyway, here's yours. Now, if we can just...
Don't look, Throckmorton. Close your eyes, you hear?
Close my eyes? Why?
Because I don't want you to see it till I'm in it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Leela, they're closed.
Oh, dear, if everybody didn't arrive just at the same time.
Oh, I know. I'll change in the bathroom.
Oh, would you mind? Oh, thank you.
I won't be but a minute, Throckmorton.
Well, I won't hold my breath.
Things are so upset here, I feel I should apologize. It's just been, well, it's more than I can handle, I'm afraid.
You seem pretty busy, all right.
Busy? Well, I've never seen anything like it. It's all right if you open your eyes now, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, thanks.
Miss Tate, I need help here, I'm afraid.
Right away, Mrs. Bullitt. Excuse me.
Oh, certainly.
Just a moment, Mrs. Pettibone.
Why did I come here? Like getting caught in a hen roost. I suppose she wonders what I'm doing tagging around with Leela. So do I.
As I was saying, Mr. Gildersleeve, I've been so rushed.
Miss Tate, those pins.
Don't worry. I always carry them in my mouth. Though goodness knows I'm so distracted these days, it's a wonder I don't go to bed with them.
You ought to check.
Well, as a matter of fact, I haven't been to bed for 2 nights.
Oh.
Miss Tate.
Company. My head is just in a spin today. Now, let's see. That was Mrs. Pettibone.
That sounded like her. You better sit down for a minute.
Oh, dear. Someone else. Just a minute, Mrs. Pettibone.
The poor woman is running a madhouse. Yeah. It's beginning to get me. Yeah, I'd sure like to get out of here.
Oh, come in. Come in, Miss Goodwin.
Miss Goodwin.
I hope I haven't come at a bad time, but I have an appointment in half an hour with Throckmorton.
Hello, Eve.
Well, what in the world are you doing here?
Me? Well, I just happened to,
I didn't know you were interested in dressmaking.
Oh, I'm not.
Well, I don't understand.
Well,
You're-
here I am, Throckmorton.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Eve, you know Leela. Leela, you know Eve.
Yes, indeed.
How are you, Mrs. Ransom?
Yes, I guess everybody knows everybody. Oh, Miss Tate. Oh, of course. Sure, you know them, sure.
Well, aren't you going to say anything about the gown, Throckmorton?
Yes, very nice, Leela. Say.
It's a lovely gown, Mrs. Ransom.
It won't fall off, will it?
Oh, don't you worry about that. But I see one thing wrong with it. I'll just put a pin in here, so.
I declare, I just don't know how the opera would ever get on without Miss Tate. Do you, Miss Goodwin?
That's quite true. Miss Tate is really the keystone.
And another pin in here, just.
Ouch!
Oh, I stuck you. Oh, do forgive me. I'm so terribly sorry, Mrs. Ransom.
Well, watch it.
I don't know how it happened. My hand shook, I guess. I'm so nervous today anyway. Now, let me try once more. I'll be very careful. Oh, dear. Where did I put those pins?
Pins? In your mouth. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Now, one more.
Miss Tate, how long do I have to wait? I've been here half an hour.
Oh, dear.
I might remind you, Mrs. Pettibone, that I arrived here before you did.
My appointment was for 9:30, and that's when I got here.
Oh, dear.
Well, I don't want to step out of turn, Miss Tate, but unless I can have my fitting within the next 15 minutes...
Just a minute, everybody. I might remind you that I'm having my fitting now. Continue, Miss Tate.
Well, I like that. Comes in here after everybody
I
else.
was the
and
first
expects-
one here. Well, I told Miss Tate when I arrived I have an appointment.
I'm
And
getting
if I can't get my fitting
Ladies!
Everybody's after me. Everybody's after me. Oh, I can't stand it.
Yeah, but Miss Tate!
Oh, catch her, Throckmorton.
Oh, gracious.
Oh, she's fainted.
Fainted nothing.
What happened?
I know what happened. She swallowed those pins. Here, take her, somebody. Let a man handle this. Let me at that telephone.
Well, there goes my fitting.
Your fitting. There goes the opera.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute.
Mr. Lang, I'm very grateful to you.
Well, that's nice to hear. What have I done?
It was you who put me wise to parquet margarine. You see, I fix 3 lunch boxes every day, and it takes a lot of spread for the sandwiches.
And you find that parquet margarine spreads quickly and easily, don't you? Even when you first take it out of the refrigerator.
Yes, that's one reason I like to use it. Because I have to work fast, preparing 6 to 8 sandwiches while my children and husband are having breakfast.
6 to 8 sandwiches do take a lot of spread, don't they?
And that's another reason I'm glad you told me about parquet margarine. It's so economical.
Well, that's what a lot of women are finding out. Parquet is only about half the price of costly spreads. And the important thing to remember is that it's one of the best energy foods you can buy. Rich in nourishment and fortified with important vitamin A.
I want to say, too, that my family likes parquet's fresh, sweet flavor.
Well, now you've made me grateful to you. Because I think you've convinced a lot of other people that they ought to try Parquet. That's Parkay. Parquet margarine. Made by Kraft. Now let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. Several days have passed, and now we find him at home, wrestling with some of the operatic problems left unsolved by Judge Horace Hooker. Simultaneously, and with more or less assistance from the rest of the household, he's trying to get the checks in the mail for his November bills.
All right, Leroy, what's next?
Summerfield Meat Market, $32.25.
$32 worth of meat? There isn't that much meat in the whole world.
You want the items? November 1st, pork chops. November 2nd...
Never mind, Bertie's checked it. Summerfield Meat Market. Telephone! 32 and 25 hundredths.
Mr. Gildersleeve, President. Oh, yes, Miss Bullard. He's right here. Miss Bullard across the street, Miss Gildersleeve.
Oh, thanks. Wonder what she wants. Keep working, Leroy. Hello?
Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. I'm sorry to bother you, but a question has come up.
That's what I'm here for, Mrs. Bullard. What is it?
Well, it seems that there hasn't been any official decision on who is to be head patroness for the opera.
Oh?
But naturally, since the whole thing was my idea in the first place, why, naturally, I assumed that I...
Well, yes, I suppose that's right if you thought the whole thing up.
I was sure you'd agree with me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to make it official. Thanks ever so much.
You're welcome, Mrs. Bullard. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, she's head patroness, whatever that means. How are the envelopes coming, Leroy?
Pretty good. Do I have to finish them now?
Well, I'd like to establish my credit, so maybe I can do a little Christmas shopping.
Let's get going. I made a blot on one envelope. Does it matter? This one.
Well, you can still read it. Acme Cleaners. If they don't like it, they can clean it. What's next?
Summerfield Light and Power, $2.60.
Yeah, the thieves. Summerfield L&P, 2 and 60 hundredths. Next.
Summerfield Water Department, 502.
Outrageous.
That's for 2 months. You didn't pay last month.
I'll have to write myself a letter. Doorbell.
I'll get it, Leroy. It's Miss Goodwin. I saw her coming up the walk.
Oh, yes, Miss Goodwin. Something about the programs, I guess.
Hello, Miss Goodwin. Hello, Marjorie. I know your uncle's awfully busy, but I'd like to see him just for a minute.
Sure, come on in.
Hello, Eve. Glad to see you.
Hello, Throckmorton. Leroy?
Hi, Miss Goodwin. How's the opera coming along?
Oh, I think we'll get it on all right. Throckmorton, if you've got a minute.
Sure, Eve. Sit down. Take off your coat. Take Miss Goodwin's coat, Leroy. Go out and play.
But the bills.
Go out and play. Marjorie, you too.
Go out and play? I'm not a child, Uncle Mort. If you want me to leave the room, say so.
I don't think any of this is necessary, Throckmorton. But we're going to have an opera a week from today, you know.
Oh, yes.
The important thing is we ought to decide which one it's going to be.
Oh, yes. Well, what operas has this company got?
Well, they offer a choice of 3 for this kind of engagement. Carmen, Rigoletto, or Tannhauser.
Let's make it Tannhauser.
Tannhauser. All right, but why?
Never mind why. You asked me which opera, and I told you. Bing, bing, that's me.
All right, I'm glad you settled it. I must say men are awfully efficient.
Well, of course, I'm an executive. But I think you're efficient, too, Eve.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir. You've got your mind on the opera, not on what you can get out of it.
Well, I've got to go and see Hogan Brothers about their ad. They're taking the back cover.
Atta girl. You know, Eve, you ought to get a percentage of the profits.
I just hope there are some.
Well, drop in anytime, Eve. Anytime you need a quick decision, bing, bing, you know where to come.
It's a great comfort.
Goodbye, Eve.
Goodbye, Throckmorton. Oh, by the way, the program should include the name of the head patroness. I sort of wondered...
Oh, you want to be head patroness, is that it?
Well,
then head patroness you shall be. Yes, sir, let's not beat around the bush.
Well, do you really think I deserve it?
I don't know who deserves it more. Consider it settled. Bing, bing.
Oh, thank you. Goodbye, Throckmorton.
Ta-ta, Eve. Come around next week. I'll have mistletoe.
Uncle Mort, I heard you tell Mrs. Bullard she could be head patroness.
What's the difference? Tell one, tell all. An executive can't bother with details, my dear.
Oh, so that's it.
Mr. Gildersleeve, you going downtown today? You're going to be here for lunch.
I'll be here, Bertie, working. But I don't want anything elaborate, just a tray at my desk.
Yes, sir. About a 3-course tray?
Fine, Bertie.
Okay, I'll get working on it.
Now what? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. This is Mrs. Pettibone.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Pettibone. How's everything going?
Just splendidly. The Women's Club has sold every single one of its tickets. We're over the top.
Great work, Mrs. Pettibone, great work. Well, I guess you can relax a little now.
I think I should. But there's something I want to ask you. Since the Women's Club is sponsoring the opera, and since I'm the president of the club, I suppose I am to be the head patroness, am I not? I didn't catch that, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, yes. You say you want to be head patroness, Mrs. Pettibone?
I say I should be.
Well, all right. After all, it's only...
It's only fair. Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, not at all, Mrs. Pettibone. In fact, don't mention it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Just a title. What difference does it make? But these women... Come in.
Yoo-hoo, Throckmorton.
All right, you can be head patroness of the opera.
Why, Throckmorton, you darling.
Well, that was what you wanted, wasn't it?
No, but I think it's just lovely.
All right, now let me get back to work, or there won't be any opera. Scat.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Gildersleeve. How goes the opera?
The opera, coming along, Peavy, coming along. I'm running the whole shebang, you know.
Well, congratulations. How'd you ever get stuck with that job?
Well, I just took it over to help Judge Hooker out. After all, I know how to handle women, and he doesn't.
Oh.
Well, I do. I don't have any trouble with women. Even a whole committee of women. And you know why, Peavy? I don't ask them. I tell 'em. Treat 'em rough.
That's the way, is it?
And you're darn right. Women just want to be told, that's all, Peavy. And they want a man to tell 'em.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't expect you to agree with me, Peavy. You never agree with me about anything.
I agree with you when I think you're right, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, that's practically never.
That's what I say.
Now, you're wrong about this. Women like to be treated rough. They want to be bossed around. That's female psychology.
Do you know this for a fact, Mr. Gildersleeve, or have you just been reading some magazine?
I know it for a fact. Did you ever try it?
No, can't say I ever did.
You better not, Peavy. I doubt if you're the type. You have to be the caveman type to get away with it. Now, here I am with all these women on this opera committee, and when I say jump, they jump.
You just tell them jump, just like that.
That's it. Jump, Mrs. Pettibone. Jump, Mrs. Bullard. Jump, ladies. Jump.
And they jump. I'd certainly like to see that. Did you come in here for anything particular, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, just out for a breath of air, Peavy. Better get back and start cracking the whip, though. They'll be getting out of their cages. Take it easy, Peavy. If any women try to shove you around, shove them right back.
Oh, my.
All right, now, Leroy, we'll check the list of box holders.
Gosh, Unc, I'm tired of checking stuff. Why can't Marge check anything?
Your sister's going to see about her costume.
Costume? Is she going to be in the opera?
No, she's going to sell programs. Now, box A downstairs.
Does that mean she gets to see the show?
I suppose so.
Jeepers, what about me?
I didn't think you'd enjoy it, my boy.
I enjoy anything at night.
Well, we'll see. Now, box A.
Doorbell, I'll get it.
Oh, nuts. Whoever it is, tell him I'm not at home.
Okay. Oh, hi, Miss Goodwin. Hi, Mrs. Ransom.
Hello, Leroy. Is your uncle home?
Of course he is. We saw him through the window.
Well, that takes care of that. Come on in.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Leela and Eve. Come on in. Leroy, you go in the study and check this list, will you, my boy?
But, Unc.
Christmas is coming, Leroy.
Okay. Boy, it better be good.
Well, sit down, ladies. Make yourself comfy. How's everything going?
Everything's going all right, Throckmorton, only there's something you'll have to straighten out.
Well, you know me. Bing, bing, I give my decision.
Throckmorton, you told me this morning I was to be head patroness, and now I find Miss Goodwin somehow has the impression she was to be.
Oh, that.
Do you remember how I got the impression I was to be head patroness, Throckmorton?
Well, now, let's see. Been so busy, so many details to be taken care of.
You told me, that's how.
I did?
You couldn't have, Throckmorton, because you distinctly told me I could have it. I didn't even ask, remember?
Well, I remember something about it.
Do you remember your conversation with me?
I guess so, only...
Only what?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it possible, Throckmorton, that you've promised both of us we can be head patroness?
Yes, it's possible. Ye gods, what difference does it make? It's just a title. Who cares who's head patroness anyway?
Well, I certainly care.
It's very important, Throckmorton.
I don't see why.
Well, the head patroness appears on the stage between the acts in a spotlight, and the star of the opera kisses her hand.
Well, even so.
You saw my dress, Throckmorton, and if anyone in town has a more impressive one...
I don't consider it important. But it just so happens that I have the same dressmaker.
Well...
I didn't think you'd care about a thing like this.
Well, I do. But perhaps not for the same reasons as Mrs. Ransom. She seems to have forgotten that the head patroness has to make a speech. I hope you'll want the committee effectively represented.
Oh, yes, that's very important.
Well, I hope you don't think I'm tongue-tied, Throckmorton.
Oh, no.
I once gave a talk before 1,000 people down home. The time the Sunday school burned down and they raffled off a Buick to buy a new one.
You made a speech?
I certainly did.
Yes. The lucky ticket is number 93.
Eve Goodwin, I made a regular speech. I may not be a school teacher, but I'm just as...
Now, Leela...
But I won't stand here and be insulted. And if you cared all about the appearance of the head patroness, you'll choose me.
Not necessarily. Of course, if he wants a matronly type.
Eve.
Matron? matronly. I'm not considered matronly. But even if I was, I'd rather be matronly than scrawny.
Mrs. Ransom, you be careful.
I won't. Throckmorton, make up your mind. Is it me or her?
Yes, Throckmorton. Is it she or I?
School teacher?
Widow?
Oh, ladies. For heaven's sake, let's be reasonable.
All right, give us a decision. You're the chairman.
Well, now, let's see. By the way, whatever happened to Miss Tate?
Don't try to change the subject.
Oh, but I'm terribly concerned about her, Leela. After all, swallowing a pin.
She coughed it up. She's perfectly all right. Now, who's going to be head patroness?
Poor Miss Tate. Must have been very painful.
Never heard her at all. Now stop shilly-shallying, Throckmorton.
Well, now, ladies, I have to think. Oh, doorbell. Excuse me, ladies.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, hello, Mrs. Pettibone and Mrs. Bullard. Gee. Excuse me, I think I heard the telephone.
I didn't hear anything. What in the world is he doing?
They're after me, Leroy. They're after me.
Oh.
Women, trapped in the hen roost. Now I know how that poor dressmaker felt. Leroy, quick! Get me a pin and a glass of water.
We'll be hearing from the great Gildersleeve again in just a moment. You'll remember a few minutes ago, I had a conversation with a lady about what a swell spread parquet margarine is for lunchbox sandwiches, because you can spread it so easily and quickly, and that you can't beat parquet for economy, because it's only about half the price of costly spreads. But perhaps the thing that makes parquet margarine a favorite of millions is its fresh, dairy-like flavor. For sandwiches, hot breads, pancakes, and waffles, parquet margarine is still unmatched for flavor. Made from selected farm products, vegetable oils rich in energy and pasteurized skim milk, and with important vitamin A added, parquet margarine is one of the most nourishing foods you can buy today. So be sure to try this nourishing spread that tastes so good. Parkay, Parquet margarine. Made by Kraft.
Folks, you know how kids are, always pestering you to tell them a story over and over? Well, I thought, why not just have a phonograph record you could play, make the kids happy, and save yourself the trouble? And that's just what I did. I made 3 records. Puss in Boots, Jack and the Beanstalk, and Rumpelstiltskin. All good stories with pretty music, too. You can get the album at any music store right now. Make a mighty nice Christmas present. Just thought I'd mention it. Good night.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Harold Perry. It is written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. The music is by Jack Meakin. This is John Lang speaking for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to listen in again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
For tempting variety at mealtime, treat your family to food zestfully flavored with Kraft prepared mustards. Remember, there are 2 popular varieties. A tangy golden Kraft salad mustard that's mild and delicately spiced, and a sharper Kraft mustard with nippy horseradish added. They're both grand flavor treats in sandwiches and on frankfurters and cold cuts, and mighty appetizing blended into cooked foods, too. Buy both kinds. Ask for Kraft salad mustard and Kraft horseradish mustard when you shop tomorrow.
This is the National Broadcasting Company. The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet Margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Now let's join the Great Gildersleeve. There seems to be a good deal of activity going on in his house.
Leroy, ask Bertie if she's finished ironing my shirt.
Okay.
Marjorie, what'd you do with my tuxedo?
Your tuxedo? I haven't been wearing it.
It came back from the cleaners this morning. Someone must have put it someplace. Leroy, you going to ask Bertie about my shirt, or aren't you?
Sure. Gosh, what's the hurry?
There's an opera on, young man. Now get moving. Ask her about my tuxedo at the same time. And answer the phone.
I'll answer the phone. It's probably for me.
Well, somebody answer it.
Mr. Gildersleeve, President. Oh, yes, Miss Goodwin, he's sitting right here. No, he ain't particularly busy. I'll call him. Mr. Gildersleeve, Miss Goodwin on the phone.
Yeah, all right, Bertie, thank you. But I am busy. Do you know what happened to my tuxedo?
It's hanging in your closet, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, well, what about my shirt?
It's in your dresser drawer.
Already? Wonderful. Well, wait a minute, Bertie. Don't go away now. Hello, Eve. How are things shaping up? Great. Look, how would it be if I pick you up around 8 o'clock? Okay, my chariot will draw up to your door at the stroke of 8. Shall I blow the horn? I was only kidding, Eve. I'll ring the doorbell. Am I dressing? You darn right I am. After all, an opera doesn't come to Summerfield every day. Okay, Eve. Ta-ta. Let me see now. If I forgot you were standing there, Bertie.
Something you wanted, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie. Very important. I wonder if you could press my black tie, give it a little backbone.
I can try, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Fine. Leroy, run upstairs and get my black tie. It's lying with my collar and studs on the bed.
Gosh, all this work to go to the opera. Does everybody have to go through this?
Men always dress to go to the opera, my boy. It's a tradition.
Yeah? Who started it?
Women, go get the tie.
Okay.
See, a shirt, collar, tie, socks. Socks. Bertie, have I got any black silk socks?
You got 3 pairs, Mr. Gildersleeve. One pair never even been mended.
Well, one pair ought to be enough. Let's see. What else? Oh, yes, my opera hat. Have you seen it?
No, sir, not in some little time.
I've worn it since the day I sat on the platform with the governor. Marjorie, have you seen my opera hat?
Not since Leroy had it.
Leroy? What was he doing with it?
Don't you remember? He used it for his magic.
Oh, my goodness.
Here you are, Unc. Is this it?
Where is my opera hat, Leroy?
I thought you wanted the tie.
Never mind the tie. Where is my opera hat?
Upstairs, I guess.
Don't guess me any guesses. Go get the hat.
Okay, gosh, more trouble.
And give me the necktie.
Oh, forgot. Here, catch.
Oops. Here, Bertie. You think you can do anything about it?
Well, sir, I might be able to make it set up for a few hours.
That's all I ask, Bertie. Just so it'll carry me till midnight. Then I'll come home like Cinderella.
Yes, sir. A little starch ought to do it.
Marjorie, what kind of tricks was Leroy doing with my opera hat?
Oh, you know. He used to pull things out of it.
What kind of things?
Eggs and stuff like that.
That darn kid. By George, if he's... Leroy...
Were you thinking of wearing this hat, Unc?
I was?
Tonight?
Tonight. Let me see it.
Gee.
Leroy, you ruined it. This hat cost me $7.50 in 1922, and I've only worn it 3 times. The first chance I've had to wear it to an opera. And look at it.
Oh, it isn't so bad, Unc. Just one teeny little hole in the top. I bet it wouldn't leak even.
An opera hat is not worn to keep off the rain, my boy. Oh, well, I suppose the music will sound just as good if I wear a derby.
Well, here we are, folks, in the lobby of the Summerfield Opera House, where tonight Summerfield is to have its first opera since the year 1922. Now, I'm going to try to bring to our microphone a few of the leading citizens as they arrive to take their seats. So if you'll just be patient, we expect to present some of these leading citizens very shortly.
Pardon me, buddy. Could you
I'm sorry we're on the air.
Oh, pardon me. I thought you were an usher. Look, Lovey, this guy's broadcasting the opera. You see the microphone?
Yeah, I've seen lots of them in pictures.
While we're waiting, folks, I might give you a little background information on tonight's opera entitled Tannhauser. It was written by Richard Wagner, a German, and was first presented in the year 1845 in the city of Dresden,
He's
Germany.
reading all that off the paper.
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, I think I see a gentleman coming now I'd like to present to you over our microphone. Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve. This gentleman is the chairman of the Committee on Arrangements for tonight's opera.
Did you hear that, honey? Mr. Gildersleeve's going to speak over the air.
Why?
Mr. Gildersleeve, will you step over?
Yes, pardon me, madam.
And here is our first celebrity, ladies and gentlemen, just as we promised, Mr. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, our popular water commissioner.
Oh, thank you. Should I talk or sing?
Just talk.
Oh, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here this evening. And as chairman of the Committee on Arrangements, I want to say it's been quite a job getting this opera on. What I mean, ladies and gentlemen, is that I personally have sacrificed my personal time and energy. So I want...
Thank you, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Now, folks...
Just a minute. I haven't finished. I didn't say anything about how good the opera is.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Gildersleeve. Everything is timed to a split second.
Oh.
Now, I'll move our portable microphone around a little, friends, and bring you some of the other celebrities. At the time Tannhauser was...
Hiya, Commissioner. Nice little speech you give there.
Thanks, Floyd. Had some more I wanted to say if you hadn't been in such a hurry.
Oh, well.
Hi, Commissioner. What's the matter? You can't say hello now that you're a big radio star?
Oh, Mrs. Munson, hello. Say, is that darn announcer introducing somebody else? Huh? Who is it over there?
Well, I think it's, yeah, it is. Chief Gates.
Chief Gates? Who wants to hear a speech from him? Now, if he'd let me develop my thought a little bit.
Let's go over and listen to the chief. Maybe we can make him laugh in the middle.
Now, Lovey, is that a nice thought?
Well, come on, let's go listen to him anyway.
And so I take great pleasure in presenting Summerfield's popular chief of police, Don Gates.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was more crime in Summerfield during 1945 than in any previous year of our history.
The music, Chief. Say something about the music.
Arrests for every type of offense increased during the past year. Of particular importance was the rise in juvenile delinquency.
Every time he makes a speech, Floyd, it's about juvenile delinquency.
And in my opinion, juvenile delinquency can only be curbed by occasions such as this one. Giving our young people wholesome amusement that will keep them off the streets. I thank you.
Thank you, Chief Gates. The story of the opera Tannhauser is a tragic one, dealing with a love and medieval...
Well, good evening, folks. Mrs. Munson, nice to see you again.
Hi, big boy.
Hiya, Floyd. Hiya, Commissioner.
Nice little speech, Chief. You talk into that thing like you was Gabriel Heater himself.
Heaven's sakes, Chief, why didn't you say something about how much Summerfield has needed the opera? What a great thing this is for the music lovers in this town.
Well, I gave my angle of it, Commissioner.
You made it sound like a punishment for criminals.
Well?
You like it, Floyd. You like it.
Well, I'll give it a listen. Come on, shouldn't we be finding our seat?
Yes, by George, we should. Now, just follow me, folks.
Okay.
Follow me, folks. Dark, isn't it? Our box is the next one. We have a private entrance, sort of. Here we are.
Oh. See, there's Peavy. Been sitting right here all the time.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Peavy.
Hiya, Peavy, old boy.
Don't get up, Peavy. Now, I think if Mrs. Munson and Floyd will sit here and Peavy over there.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'd rather not sit so close to the edge, if you don't mind.
Oh, Peave, nobody ever fell out of a box.
Well, maybe not, but I've always had a nervous feeling about high places.
Yes.
Oh, look at all the people way down there. Catch me, Lovey. I think I'm going to jump.
Oh, Floyd's a clown, isn't he?
Yeah, very funny. For heaven's sake, Floyd, people are staring at us.
Let 'em. I bought my ticket.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing, being nervous about high places. Psychology, I suppose.
Yes.
Hey, look. I could drop my program and bean the president of Hogan Brothers.
Little psychological quirks. For example, I never can eat eggplant after tomato soup.
Yes. Where the dickens is Judge Hooker? The show ought to be starting any minute.
Some people don't like to be locked up in a small room, I understand. I tried it once and I enjoyed it. I guess it takes all kinds.
Yes. Quiet, everybody. Now, here comes the orchestra. 20 pieces. I tell you, this is going to be a real show.
Hey, wait a minute. That little guy with the piccolo. Don't he hustle baggage down at the depot?
Jimmy Pittenger. Sure, that's him. Hey, what kind of orchestra you palming off on us here, Mr. Gildersleeve? For $5 a throw, I don't want to hear no freight handler.
Well, Floyd, let's give him a chance.
Okay. If he's good, okay. If he's lousy, I hope he drops a trunk on his toe tomorrow.
Hey, who's the guy just came in down there with the bald head?
Yeah, that's the conductor. Now they'll start. Yeah, he's tapping. See? Shh. Yeah, that's it. That's the overture to Tannhauser.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Pardon me, folks. Is this box 7?
Oh, for heaven's sake. This is it, Judge. Come on in.
Oh, that you, Floyd?
Yep, that's me.
Well, where shall I...
Quiet, you. Sit down before I choke you.
All right, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, WSUM, the voice of Summerfield, regrets that time does not permit us to bring you the opera Tannhauser in its entirety. We urge you, however, to stay tuned to this station.
My, it certainly feels good to sit down and relax for a while.
Don't tell me Christmas shopping has got you down.
Yes, it has. I've never seen such crowds in the stores, Mr. Lang. I'm glad my shopping's just about done. All I have to do now is pick up a few things on my holiday food list.
Well, don't forget your grocer also is a very busy man these days. And with quality foods in such big demand for special occasions, I think it might be wise to get in a reminder right now about homemakers shopping early for Parquet margarine. There's always a big demand, you know, for this popular spread made by the Kraft Foods Company. It's a favorite of millions.
I'm glad you reminded me of that, Mr. Lang. We're going to be serving all kinds of hot breads over the holidays. And I know I can always count on Parquet margarine to make them taste extra good.
You certainly can. Parquet margarine makes all kinds of bread taste extra good because it's still unmatched for flavor. That's why millions of American families prefer this delicious, economical spread to any other brand. So be sure to get Parquet from your food dealer tomorrow. That's Parkay. Parquet margarine, one of the quality foods made by the Kraft Foods Company. Back in the Summerfield Opera House, the last aria has died away. The last tribute has been delivered. The last bows have been taken. The asbestos curtain has fallen, and the musicians have scrambled out of the pit. Ushers prowl now through the rows of empty seats, picking up lost gloves, discarded programs, and gum wrappers. On the sidewalk out in front, Summerfield's opera lovers are still milling about in their post-war finery, looking for their cars.
Chief, how did you like the opera?
How'd you like it, Peavy?
Yeah, I asked you first.
I get you, me too.
Goodness, Throckmorton. I hope not everyone felt that way about it.
Don't worry, Eve. Stick close to me now. Taxi! Hey, taxi! Got away. I'll shut off his water. Wish I'd brought my own car. I thought parking would be so bad.
Hey, Commissioner!
Oh, there's that Mr. What's-his-name. He's calling you.
Where? Sounded like Floyd Munson.
In that car that just pulled up.
Hey, come in.
Oh, yeah, Floyd. Hello.
Hey, nudge the ball and chain there, will you, if you don't see me.
Where?
Standing right behind you there, with a mouth open. Hey, Dreamy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Hey!
Now, Mrs. Munson.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Well, I thought it was somebody getting familiar.
Oh, no. On the contrary, Mrs. Munson, there's your husband waiting for you.
Come on, come on.
Well, it's a wonder you wouldn't blow your horn.
I practically blew the insides out of it. You wasn't standing there gaping all around you. Hey, Commissioner, you got a ride? Can I drop you somewhere?
What do you think, Eve?
Plenty of room. Glad to take your friend there, too.
It's a ride, Eve. Would you mind? The taxi situation don't look too good.
Well, I think it's very nice of them to offer.
How about it?
Thanks, Floyd. We won't be taking you out of your way.
Nah, climb in.
Go ahead, Eve. Mrs. Munson, you met Miss Goodwin.
How do you do?
Likewise. Pile in there, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You think there's room for me in the back here?
Oh, plenty. I'll just... Oh.
Yeah, a little tight, isn't it? Yeah.
All set?
All set, Floyd.
Where to?
Home, Jay.
There's other people in the car besides you, Lovey.
Oh, where are you headed for, Miss Goodwin?
I'm seeing her home. She lives over on Laurel Avenue, Floyd.
Yeah, I know the place. We drove by there one time. Ah, keep your shirt on. You think you're on the street?
That's telling them, Fearless. Now, suppose we get going. Oh, wait! Watch it.
You asked for it.
There's other people in the car besides me, Lovey. So just watch it, that's all.
A little less help from the back seat, or a certain party's going to get out and walk.
Yes. How did everybody like the opera?
Oh, yes, I'm very anxious to know...
opera's okay for them that like it, I guess. But give me a good musical show anytime.
You're a good bill of vaudeville.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to go to the Orpheum every Saturday night, Floydie?
Those were the days. That was entertainment.
Well, I don't care what anybody says. I enjoyed the opera.
Did you, Throckmorton?
Oh, come on now, Commissioner. I caught you dozing off there a couple of times.
I closed my eyes, Floyd, in order to enjoy the music more.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. Personally, I would have enjoyed it more if I'd slept through the whole thing.
Floyd, just stick to your driving.
Who asked for any advice from you?
You heard the man say he enjoyed the opera, didn't you? All right, leave him enjoy it. You got a cousin, you know, that likes rutabagas.
Listen, you want to get out and walk?
Let's not discuss the opera anymore, folks, shall we?
Do come inside for a minute, Throckmorton.
Well, just to say goodnight.
At least it's warm in here.
Feels good.
Let's sit down.
Tired?
A little.
Aren't you going to take off your coat?
In a minute. I'd just like to sit first.
Guess I'll do the same.
All these weeks of preparation, and now suddenly it's over.
Well, I think it was a great success. Don't you?
Oh, I suppose they'll say so.
What do you mean?
Oh, Mrs. Bullard's gown was much admired, and Mrs. Pettibone's, and all the best photographers attended.
Well, I thought yours was prettier than either of them.
I just wonder if anyone heard the opera. Some of the remarks I overheard were so discouraging.
Who made remarks? Just tell me who made any remarks and
Oh,
I'll...
it wouldn't do any good to threaten them, Throckmorton. That's not the point. It's just that it didn't speak very well for the level of musical appreciation in Summerfield.
Well, there's always bound to be a few gripers.
I was very proud of you, by the way.
Yeah? When?
On the way home, when you defended the opera, when you said that you'd really enjoyed it.
Oh, I did. I think it was the finest performance of opera I've ever heard.
Well, I don't know that I'd quite agree with you about that. Actually, the performance, I thought, was little better than mediocre.
Oh, there are things about it that I'd criticize if you want to split hairs.
Exactly. After all, it isn't the performance, it's the opera. When you compare it to what we usually have here in Summerfield.
Just what I was going to say. Took the very words right out of my mouth. It isn't the performance, it's the opera. By George, that's so true.
You know, Throckmorton, perhaps I shouldn't say this, but I'd almost given you up for lost there for a while. And now I think again perhaps there's hope.
What do you mean, lost?
Well, I had a feeling that you were simply running with the crowd, that you cared more for the plaudits of the multitude than you did...
Eve, my whole life has been an attempt to get away from that.
You know, you're very puzzling at times, Throckmorton. You're really quite an enigma.
Oh, you think so?
I mean, sometimes I think I see a spark in you. And then for long periods it disappears.
I just get too busy.
And then suddenly the spark is there again. I can see it. And I have the feeling that if it were just fanned a little.
Fan it, Eve.
Don't misunderstand. I'm referring at the moment to your feeling for music. It's one of the nicest things about you.
You know, Eve, when I was listening to the opera there tonight, I suddenly realized. 20 years ago it was a toss-up whether I'd take up music professionally or go into business. My talent for business won out. But I still wonder sometimes if it wasn't a mistake.
Perhaps it's not too late.
You mean you think I could...
Oh, not professionally, perhaps, but you still have a lovely voice.
Well, music has always been one of my great loves. Me. How does that aria go? Oh, evening star, da, da.
Oh, if you studied, Throckmorton, if you really work.
I will. I really will, Eve. I'll work and I'll study every spare minute I get.
Oh, do.
I'll let nothing stand in my way. I'll work till I've made up for all the years I've wasted. And then one day, I'll cast aside the waterworks and surprise everybody.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, evening star, how bright you are. Da 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 dee da 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 da. Oh, evening star, oh, Eve, if I'd only met you 20 years ago. Good night, Eve.
Good night, Throckmorton.
Eve.
Yes?
No, I won't.
Won't what?
I won't ask to kiss you. Not till I've made good. Good night.
Good night, Throckmorton. And remember, work and study.
Day and night. Oh, evening star, how bright you are. Da 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 dee da dee da da. Oh, evening star, wherever you are, I love you.
Quiet down there. Shut up!
Oh, shut up yourself. Ignoramuses, all of you. But I'll show you. Oh, no, I better not. Eve, she's the only one who understands me. Eve has faith in me. Well, I'll show her, too. Work and study. Work and study. Yes, by George, the first thing tomorrow. Well, close the window. So 9:15?
Yeah, Bertie said to tell you.
9:15, eh? Well, what was I going to do today? There was something I was going to do.
I don't know what you're going to do, but I got to get going.
Wait a minute, my boy. Where are you going in such a hurry?
To school, where do you think?
Oh, school.
I told you it's 9:15. It's all right for you maybe to lie in bed till noon, but I'm only a kid, so I have to work and study all day.
Work and study. I remember now. Eve.
Well, so long.
Leroy, wait a minute. Come back here.
Now what is it?
Leroy, don't neglect your music, my boy.
Who's neglecting it?
Practice your piano every day.
I always do.
Work and study. Those should be your watchwords, my boy. Devote every moment you can to it, because there's no greater satisfaction in life to a man than music.
Yes, sir. Well, I
want you to study and work hard, my boy, so that Miss Goodwin will be proud of you.
Yeah, well,
In fact, beginning the first of the year, I think I'd like you to take 2 music lessons a week instead of 1.
What? 2 lessons?
You'll thank me for it, Leroy. When you're an older man, you'll thank me for it. One of the greatest regrets of my life is the fact that I didn't keep on with my musical studies when I was a young man. I'd even take them up again now, if I had the time for it. Close the door when you go out, my boy. I think I'll catch a few more winks before I get up. Up a little late last night.
What a character.
The great Gildersleeve will be back again in just a moment. One of the pleasant things we all look forward to in our house during holiday time is the tempting aroma of hot breads baking in the kitchen. No doubt you'll be having a variety of baking treats in your home, too, during the coming weeks. And it goes without saying that you'll want a delicious spread to serve with them. So I'd like to suggest for your family's enjoyment a spread that's a favorite of millions, Parquet Margarine, made by Kraft. Parquet Margarine is still unmatched for fresh, dairy-like flavor. That's why it tastes so good on fresh-baked muffins, sugared buns, and crusty rolls. And Parquet is easy on your food budget, too. It's only about half the price of costly spreads. So tomorrow, be sure to buy delicious, economical Parquet. Parkay. Parquet Margarine, made by Kraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, one thought before we say goodnight. In the hustle and bustle of Christmas shopping, it's very easy to forget to buy the little Christmas seals that are helping our country to control mankind's most dangerous disease, tuberculosis. The tragic thing about tuberculosis is that its spread is preventable. We know how to control it, but it costs money. Most of us have known someone who's been a victim of tuberculosis. I do myself. So I make this plea very sincerely. Don't forget to buy some Christmas seals tomorrow. Good night.
It was played by Harold Perry. It was written by John Whedon and Sam Moore. The music is by Jack Meakin. This is John Lang speaking for the Kraft Foods Company and inviting you to listen in again next week for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve.
We'll soon be into the holiday season, and that's time for bright, tempting dishes. So add a lively touch of flavor to your foods with tangy, golden Kraft salad mustard. You can serve Kraft salad mustard in all sorts of delightful ways. This delicious salad mustard adds extra flavor zest to cooked egg and cheese dishes, adds lip-smacking flavor to gravies, relishes, and sandwich spreads. And for the special zippy flavor some folks prefer, there's a sharper Kraft mustard, too, with horseradish added. So be sure to head up your holiday shopping list with Kraft quality mustards.
This is the National Broadcasting Company. The Kraft Foods Company presents The Great Gildersleeve. It's The Great Gildersleeve, starring Harold Perry, brought to you by the Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet Margarine and a complete line of famous quality food products. Well, it's almost here. Only one more day. And there isn't a kid in the whole country who looks forward to it with more eagerness than Gildersleeve. Here comes the great man now, plodding up the front walk to his home. He's a little weary, a little out of breath, but his eyes, how they twinkle. His dimples, how merry. And what a load of parcels he's got, right up to his chin. Oh, he can't even get hold of the doorknob.
Bertie! Bertie, quick, help me here, Bertie.
Mr. Gildersleeve, all them packages.
Yeah, and grab some of them, will you, Bertie? Grab the top ones.
I got them. Let go with your chin.
Yeah, where can we hide these, Bertie, where the kids won't find them?
Gosh, I don't believe there's a spot in the whole house that Leroy ain't into and out of all day long.
Well, how about the cedar chest up in the sewing room?
Him and Piggy were playing lifeboat in that yesterday.
Lifeboat?
Yeah, they wanted me to fly over them and drop them rations. But I just told them I was too busy to do any flying. I got other things to do. Plenty, besides flying.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me see.
Oh, I know, in the wood closet.
Oh, that's no good, Bertie. Leroy's supposed to check that every day and make sure it's filled. That's one of his regular duties.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I could put a 7-layer cake in that closet, and it would be safe for a year with chocolate frosting. Any wood gets in there, I put it in there.
Yeah, well, you know him better than I do, Bertie. Let's hide him in the wood closet, then.
Oh, quick, Mr. Gildersleeve. I think I hear Leroy coming in the back way.
Oh, here, you hide him, Bertie. I'll go and head him off.
Yes.
Well, my boy. Home from school already?
I didn't go to school today. We didn't have any school. You know that.
Oh, that's so. I'd forgotten. Well, how does it feel not to have any school then, huh? Pretty fine?
Unc, we went through all this at breakfast. What's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
What are you acting so funny about?
Who's acting funny? I'm merely trying to have a little conversation with you, that's all.
Gosh, most of the time you won't even listen to me. Well, let me just go.
I wouldn't go in there just now if I were you, Leroy.
Why not?
It's Christmas, my boy. Doesn't pay to ask too many questions.
Is it something for me?
Doesn't pay to ask too many questions.
Gosh, I know what I hope it is.
That's good.
There's just one thing I want for Christmas, that's all. Just one thing.
Believe I've heard you mention that before.
I wouldn't care if I didn't get another single thing if I just got that. Just that one thing. If I just got that, that would make Christmas perfect. I say it's one thing. There are several parts to it, actually. There's the bass drum and the snare drum and the cowbells, the wood block and the cymbal.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve, all clear.
We can go in the front of the house now, my boy. Now, don't run.
What was Bertie doing, hiding it?
She asked me to step out while she was cleaning up in there.
Uh-huh.
All right for us to come in now, Bertie?
Oh, yes, sir. I put them logs away like you told me, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Leroy, don't you go near that wood closet or you won't get a single thing that's in there, you hear?
Oh, I wasn't thinking of going near it. Why would I want to go near the wood closet?
Not to put any wood in it, I'll bet. Well, don't, that's all.
I was telling Uncle Mort, Bertie, there's only one thing I want for Christmas this year.
Leroy, it strikes me that all you ever think about is getting. You should give more thought to giving. That's the spirit of Christmas, my boy.
Oh, don't worry. I got that all taken care of. I know just what I'm going to give everybody. Except Marge.
Well, you better get busy on her present, too, then. Practically Christmas Eve. What are you waiting for?
I'm waiting till I find out how much she spends on my present.
Confound it, Leroy. That's no way to do. Christmas is not a time for horse trading. It's a time for generosity and being nice. Marjorie?
Hi, Unky. Where have you been? At the Bullards. Not that it's any of your business.
Who said you could stay to lunch?
Nobody. Do I have to ask your permission?
Oh, stop it, both of you. Why can't you children be nice to each other on Christmas Eve, at least?
Well, I'm being nice. He's the one who thought...
Quiet.
Oh, Unky, I meant to ask you, is it all right if I go out for a while this evening with Marshall?
Go out. My dear, this is Christmas Eve.
Well, I know, but all the gang...
Christmas Eve we always spend at home. You know that.
Well, that's just the point.
What do you mean?
Well,
she says Christmas Eve is corny.
I didn't say it was corny. I said it was dull.
My dear, what kind of talk is this?
Well, it's true. Everybody has to stay at home.
What?
I said everybody has to stay at home, and everybody has to do the same old thing year after year and pretend to enjoy it.
Marjorie, where do you get these ideas?
From Marshall.
Oh, go away. Uncle Mort, you know as well as I do, Christmas is nothing but a commercialized racket.
Indeed.
Just a way of making money.
Is that so?
So why go on being mushy and old-fashioned and sentimental about it? You can't expect us to go on believing all that nonsense forever. After all, we're not children.
I am.
You both are, if you only knew it. And that Marshall, if I get my hands on him.
I believe if you want something badly enough and you ask Santa Claus for it, and you keep wishing you had it, and you try to be a good boy, even if you're not too good. If you just try like I have all year, why, you can't tell. You might get it.
Yes.
Because if you didn't, that'd be disappointing a little boy, and Santa Claus would never...
Oh, come off of it, Leroy. Now, Marjorie, about this evening.
Oh, well, all we're doing, Uncle Mort, a bunch of us are going over to Francie's and play her new phonograph and dance and things. Marshall's bringing his collection of hot records.
Hot records on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, and that's not all. Tell them what you call it, Marge. They call it the Anti-Santy Club.
Why don't you keep out of this?
Well, all I can say, I don't know what's happened to Christmas. But I think the whole thing is the most disgusting idea I ever heard of.
Uncle Mort, you don't want Marshall to think I'm a baby who isn't even allowed to go out after dark.
It strikes me, young lady, that you care more about what Marshall thinks than what I think. All right, go on, ruin Christmas. You've already ruined it anyway, you two.
Aren't you going to help me decorate the tree, Uncle?
Decorate it yourself.
Gosh, do I have to do it all alone?
Well, don't if you don't want to. I don't care if we even have a tree.
Boy, here's that little angel with a parachute. Remember him? Where do you think he looked best, Unc? Up top?
I don't care where you put him.
Gosh. Can I have a candy cane?
Before dinner?
Just one, Unc?
Have two. Maybe they'll make you sick.
Doorbell. I'll go. It might be a package. Oh, hi, Marshall. Come on in.
Your sister around?
She's upstairs.
If that kid comes near me, I'll...
Hey, Mama, it's the boyfriend.
Leroy.
It's Marshall, Unc.
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
I wanted Marge to hear a record I found today. Are you interested in good records, Mr. Gildersleeve?
In good ones, yes.
Well, this is a real find. An oldie, of course, but a real collector's item. Harry James' record of the Mole.
The what?
The Mole.
I thought that's what you said.
You'd like to hear it?
Not particularly. I understand, young man, that you've plans for this evening, you and Marjorie. Now, I may be old-fashioned, Marshall, but I was brought up to believe that Christmas...
Hello, Marshall. Let's go into the study, shall we, so we won't disturb Uncle Mort?
No, just a minute. Doorbell.
I got it. Oh, hi, Craig. What do you want?
My brother here. Hey, Marshall, come on home.
Why?
To hang up your... Because Pop says to, that's why.
What for?
To hang up your stocking.
Excuse me, Marge. Listen, Squirt, what's the idea coming over here
Pop
like this?
says he doesn't care what you told Mom. He says you come home and hang up your stocking or it'll break your neck.
Okay.
And he says you needn't think you're going out of the house tonight either.
Craig, have a candy cane. Fine boy, fine boy.
Well, if you'll excuse me, about tonight, Marge, I don't know. It doesn't look too good.
That's perfectly all right, Marshall. Marjorie understands perfectly, don't you, my dear? Yes, indeed. You just run along. Yeah. Oh, Marjorie, I don't want you to be too disappointed.
Well, to tell you the truth, Unky, I'm kind of glad.
Well, it looks as if we might have a white Christmas after all.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just a moment. Some friends dropped in the other night to help us trim our Christmas tree. And after we had the tree all decked out, Mrs. Lang served a buffet lunch. And while one of our guests was fixing a sandwich, she said to me...
I suppose, John, that this spread is the parquet margarine we've heard you raving about on the Gildersleeve show.
That's it, the one and only parquet margarine.
Well, here's that chance I've been waiting for.
You've been saying that parquet margarine is still unmatched for flavor.
Yes, I have, and the best way to prove it is to taste that sandwich you just spread with parquet.
All right. 1, 2, 3, tasting.
Now, there's real flavor for you. Fresh, sweet, and delicate. Am I right?
Yes, you are. It's really delicious.
Thank you. And friends, I'm sure you'll have the same gratifying taste experience the very first time you spread parquet margarine on bread, hot toast, and rolls. I'm sure you'll agree with the millions who prefer parquet margarine, that it's still unmatched for flavor. Try it soon and let your own taste decide. That's Parkay, Parquet margarine, made by the Kraft Foods Company. Now let's get back to the great Gildersleeve. It's getting on toward 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and here and there in Summerfield, lights have been turned on. Here a Christmas tree, there a neon sign. The Gildersleeve house is not yet lit up, though Gildersleeve is there wrapping parcels and putting artistic bows on them. At the moment, he is alone in the parlor.
Darn fancy paper. They never make it big enough. Must think people give each other thimbles for Christmas.
Hi, Unc, what you doing?
Don't sneak up on me like that, Leroy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
You didn't scare me. You merely surprised me. You were hoping you'd see something, weren't you?
No, I just happened to come downstairs quietly. I've been wrapping up Marge's present.
Oh, finally got one, did you?
Yeah. Swell, too. It cost $1.50.
Well, what is it?
Perfume. The bottle is shaped like a little house. I hope it smells good.
You mean you didn't smell it before you bought it?
Nah, but for $1.50, how could it be lousy?
Well, I hope you're right, my boy. Well, if your presents are ready, maybe you could help me wrap up some of these things.
Okay, sure, Unc.
Here, see if you can do a nice job on this box of cigars.
Who's it for, the old ghost?
Yeah, no. Leroy, these cigars are from my very good friend, Judge Horace Hooker.
Okay.
Oh, see who that is, my boy.
Maybe it's a present. Marge, Lee, look at all the packages.
I just took around some presents, and everywhere I went, they gave me something.
Well, that's Christmas, my dear.
Gosh, is all that stuff for you, Marge?
Oh, not all of it. Some of it's for the whole family.
I know those family presents. Doilies.
Don't be pessimistic. Put the things under the tree, my dear, and then you can help me and Leroy wrap up this other stuff.
Okay. I hope what Francie gave me is what I think.
What do you think?
What I gave her. I was going to get one for myself, too, but then I figured maybe.
Christmas is a bad time to buy things for yourself, my dear.
Here's the judge's cigars, Unc. Neat, hey?
A little shaggy, but I'll pass it. Where's that card I made out for him? Oh, here. Just shove this under the string.
Okay.
Why doesn't Leroy take it over to him?
Oh, maybe he can later. The judge doesn't stop by. He generally looks in on Christmas Eve.
You know what we ought to do? Francie's mother does it every year. We ought to get an extra package ready in case somebody drops in with a present we don't expect.
Well, good idea. Very clever.
I don't get it.
Well, you remember how embarrassing it was when Mrs. Pettibone came by last year?
Embarrassing? All she brought was a glass of jelly.
That's not the spirit, Leroy. Mrs. Pettibone was thoughtful enough to bring us a Christmas remembrance. It was beautifully wrapped, too.
So you couldn't tell it was jelly.
What did you say, Leroy?
Nothing.
Well, just be careful. Remember that Santa Claus can hear you even if I can't.
Okay. Do you think he's heard me say anything about a set of drums?
He certainly has. I venture to say he's sick of hearing about them.
Okay.
Unky, I know just the thing for the extra present. Those bookends Aunt Hattie sent you last year.
The two cupids leaning against each other? I don't know, my dear.
Well, you never cared for them particularly, but someone else might be crazy about it.
Can't imagine who, but go ahead and wrap them up. They'll do for a real emergency.
I'll go upstairs and get them.
Doorbell!
I'll get it.
Well, Merry Christmas, children.
Merry Christmas, Judge.
Is your uncle home? Oh, here he is. Compliments of the season, Throckmorton.
Well, same to you, Horace. Same to you. Take off your coat and mittens and make yourself at home.
No, I can't. Thank you just the same. I just stopped by to leave some little Christmas remembrance.
Oh, you shouldn't have done it, Horace. Leroy, where's that package we had for Judge Hooker?
Coming up.
Here, take this with you, Horace, and all of our best wishes for a very Merry Christmas.
Throckmorton, you shouldn't have done it.
Nonsense, old friend. Christmas comes but once a year.
So it does. And in spite of all the inconvenience and the crowded stores and whatnot, it's a grand old day.
Yeah, nothing like it. It's a day when a man really feels close to his friends and his family.
Exactly. Well, I've got to be running along. I hope you children won't be disappointed when you open your stockings tomorrow.
I'm sure everything will be lovely, Judge.
I hope it's as lovely as you're looking right this minute, my dear.
Why, thank you, kind sir.
She's growing up to be a pretty child, Throckmorton.
Don't tell her, Judge. You'll give her ideas.
Uncle. Got your package, Judge?
Yes, thank you. Well, goodbye, all.
So long, Judge. Thanks a lot.
Oh, yes, thank you, Judge.
Don't mention it.
Merry Christmas, Horace.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Good old Horace. Original, too, yeah. A little difficult at times, a little set in his ways, maybe, but true blue just the same.
He's sweet.
You said it. Can we look at the stuff he brought, Unc?
I think we'd better wait till tomorrow.
Just one little peek.
Well, just one then, and no shaking, mind you.
Okay. Best wishes for a happy Christmas to Marjorie from her friend Judge Hooker.
My, it's big.
Merry Christmas to Leroy, and be careful with this. Say, might be a knife.
Yes, yes. Well, what does mine say?
Yours? He only left 2.
What?
That's right, Uncle Mort.
Why, that two-faced old goat. And I gave him 25 cigars, 3 for $29.
No, it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Don't tell me I know it, but by George, I'll show him next year. Well, the place is beginning to look Christmassy. Tree never really looks like anything till it's dark outside.
Let's turn out all the lights, then it'll look super.
No, not now. I'm reading.
Christmas cards look nice up on the mantel there. I think we got more cards than usual this year.
That's because the war's over.
Well, maybe. Say, I think it would be nice to spend a few minutes looking at our cards, make a little good wish for each of the people who sent them. What do you say, children?
It'd be more fun to open a present.
Yeah, Leroy. After all, a Christmas card is a real thought. A lot of trouble, too.
Oh, sure, only...
Never mind. Marjorie, what about you?
I'm reading.
What a family. Well, I think it's a good idea, and I'm going through with it. Let's see. Here's a pretty card. 3 wise men walking through the snow to Bethlehem.
There wasn't any snow in Bethlehem.
There was 2. You can see it right here in the picture. Noel, Noel. That's all it says. Very nice. Yeah, who sent this? Oh, Summerfield Hardware Company. Hoping to fill your tool needs in 1946. By George, that's enough to turn a man's doorbell.
I got it. Leroy seems awfully willing today.
Hello, Mr. Peavy. Merry Christmas.
Oh, Peavy, I completely forgot him. I haven't got a present for him.
Ed had his bookend.
Gee.
Come on in, Mr. Peavy. He'll be glad to see you.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I want to take this opportunity to wish a very Merry Christmas to you and to your family.
Why, thank you, Mr. Peavy.
Yes, thanks, Peavy, and the same to you, and to Mrs. Peavy. Tell her, Peavy, that I... Peavy?
What's the matter?
Is that lipstick on your cheek, or do my eyes deceive me?
Lipstick?
Yes.
On my cheek?
Yes.
Well, you darn mistletoe.
I don't blame the mistletoe, Peavy. Mistletoe isn't what leads a man astray.
I didn't go astray. I just went to deliver a Christmas present to Mr. to take a present to this certain party.
Who is it, Peavy? I might go take this party a little certain present myself. Come on now. Who was it?
Mr. Gildersleeve, a gentleman never betrays a lady. Just the same, I better get this stuff off my face before I go home. Mrs. Peavy doesn't take much stock in mistletoe.
Here, don't use your handkerchief, Peavy. Leroy, take Mr. Peavy up to the bathroom.
Okay.
Oh, I can't believe that's necessary.
It's the only way. Isn't it, Marjorie?
It's the best way, Mr. Peavy.
The way of the transgressor is hard. Well, show me where it is, Leroy.
Okay. Gosh, all this fuss about a little lipstick.
Poor Mr. Peavy.
Marjorie, he's left a 5-pound box of chocolates here. Look, Mr. Gildersleeve and family from the Peavies. What shall I do?
But the bookends. Oh, isn't it lucky we thought of
I
it?
suppose so. No, by George, it's not. I wouldn't give those bookends to a nice fellow like Peavy. I don't know who I would give them to now that I come to think of it.
Well, what can you do? We haven't got another thing.
Yes, we have. I have, that is. I bought myself a little present today. A little silver lighter I couldn't resist.
Why, Uncle Mort.
All right, I know I shouldn't have done it. Well, I'll give it to Peavy.
We'd better hurry and wrap it.
It's all wrapped. Right here under the tree. Thought I'd surprise myself Christmas morning.
What about a card?
Oh, yes, a card.
Here.
Merry Christmas to good old Peavy from Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve and family. What's so funny?
I was just reading the card you had on it before.
Give me that card.
To Throckmorton from his loving brother.
Well, my brother Wendell would probably give me a lighter if he thought of it, if he had any money. Oh, there you are, Peavy, as good as new.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. Rubbed half my face away getting the darn stuff off.
Yeah, he really worked on it.
I'm much obliged for the use of your facilities, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, think nothing of it, Peavy. Come on, sit down and relax for a while.
No, I really can't. Mrs. Peavy and I light our tree at 6 o'clock sharp, and I gotta be there.
Oh, well, in that case, of course.
No, I just came over to bring a couple of small gifts to you and Mrs. Ransom and
Oh, Mrs. Ransom. That's where you ran into the mistletoe.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I'm a cad.
Don't you worry about it, Peavy. If I know her, she was more to blame than you.
No, I wouldn't say that. I gave her as good as I got.
Well.
I'd really better be going, Mr. Gildersleeve, but I'll just leave this little thought for you and Marjorie and Leroy, if I may.
Little thought. It's a 5-pound box of chocolates.
My best grade.
You shouldn't have done it, Peavy. But here, take this along, and I hope you and Mrs. Peavy have a Merry, Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. Good night, Marjorie. Good night, Leroy.
Good night, Mr. Peavy.
Good night, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Good night, Peavy. Go straight home now.
Present for Mrs. Ransom?
Yes, I have, my dear. Why do you ask?
Because I see her coming up the front walk. I'll go.
You will kindly stay right where you are, my boy. You too, my dear.
Don't worry.
I will handle this. Leela, Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Throckmorton.
My. What are all those packages?
Oh, take some of them, will you, please?
Yeah, just put them down here for a second. There.
Throckmorton, what on earth?
Heavy hangs over your head, Leela.
Throckmorton, I got a cold.
What do I care? Merry Christmas.
Oh, my goodness, you absolutely took my breath away.
Did I? Well, Happy New Year. Come on in, Leela. Take off your coat and stay a while.
Well, just for a minute. Can you bring my packages like a sweet line?
Oh, sure thing. Say, a lot of them, too.
Well, I want to explain about that. Good evening, Marjorie. Hello, Leroy.
Hi, Mrs. Ransom. What do you know?
Good evening, Mrs. Ransom. Well, I do hope you children are going to like the presents I brought you, but I never know.
Don't worry. Whatever it is, I'll be crazy about it.
Well, this package is for you, Leroy.
Gee, thanks a million.
And this is for Marjorie. The Bonton Specialty Shop, my dream. And this is for Bertie.
Oh, put it with Bertie's things under the tree, my boy.
Got it. And this is for you, Throckmorton.
Leela, you shouldn't have done it.
Oh, that's silly.
What's this other package, Mrs. Ransom?
Oh, that's the strangest thing. Judge Hooker came by with a gift for me, the old darling.
The old goat.
Oh, but wait, Throckmorton. He accidentally left a package for you at the same time.
What?
Look, To Throckmorton, best wishes for a Merry Christmas from the old goat.
Well, I'll be darned. Good old hooker. He was true blue after all.
What's in the package, Unc?
Looks like a box of cigars. 50 Coronas. Gee. Well, I'll make it up to him next year.
Oh, the tree looks simply lovely, Marjorie. Did you decorate it? No, Leroy did it all. Well, Leroy, you should be real proud. I don't think I ever saw a prettier tree.
Thanks a lot.
Well, our side of the family always had a flair for that sort of thing. Good taste was just born in Leroy.
Oh, Unky, now that Mrs. Ransom's here, why don't we sing a few Christmas carols?
Oh, an excellent suggestion. Will you play for us, Leela?
I'd love to. I don't think Christmas is Christmas without singing a few carols.
Well, come on, then. Come on, Leroy. You can sing alto if you're careful.
Don't worry about me. You're the one that gets off.
Yep. Now, my boy.
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Is it all right if I go now?
Good evening, Bertie. Merry Christmas.
Good evening, Miss Ransom. I didn't see you over there.
I thought you'd left long ago, Bertie. Sure, you can go.
All right, then. I guess I will.
Bertie's going to sing a solo tonight in church.
Now, Leroy.
Is that a fact, Bertie? A solo?
Well, won't be nobody singing but me. Not on this one particular carol. It's just a little Christmas carol, that's all.
Well, why don't you sing it here, Bertie, before you leave?
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Oh, come on, Bertie.
Yes, Bertie, do you good. Sing it now, and you'll do it better in church.
I'd be too scared, Mr. Gildersleeve.
There's nothing to be scared of, Bertie. Is that your music you got there?
Yes, sir, just a little book of carols.
Come on. Leela, you can play this, can't you?
Well, I don't believe I know it, but I guess I can play it.
All right, Bertie. Sing it.
Lolly, thou little tiny child, bye-bye, lolly, lolly. Lolly, thou little tiny child, bye-bye, lolly, lolly.
Bertie, that's lovely.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Kind of a funny tune, but I like it.
So did I.
You'll do fine in church, Bertie. Now, before you go, let's sing something we can all sing, huh?
Joy to the world. Oh, yeah.
Come on, everybody in on this. Let her go, Leela.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him robe, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
Yes, sir. Christmas.
Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, except the great Gildersleeve. Gildersleeve is still downstairs, fussing with something or other next to the Christmas tree.
Well, guess I'll go to bed.
Oh!
Gee. Well, I may live to regret this. But what do I care? Merry Christmas, everybody.
The Kraft Foods Company and the entire cast of The Great Gildersleeve join in wishing every one of you the merriest Christmas and the happiest holiday season you've ever had. Good night.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.